Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are discussing the different competitive exam MCQs from force and motion. The topic are equations of motion and different types of graph, i.e. acceleration time graph, velocity time graph, displacement time graph. In our previous lecture, we resolved some MCQs based on these concept of slope of any graph and area of any graph. Now we resolve some more MCQs in our present lecture. Now the sixth MCQs is a stone is dropped from a cliff. The graph observed the axis carefully, which best represent the motion while it falls. A option is displacement time graph, which is straight line passing through the center. B option is velocity time graph, which also a straight line passing through the center. C option is velocity time graph, but it is a parabola. MCQs is asked in UHS 2009. If we observe all these graphs, the first graph slope is velocity of the stone, and in B option the slope of the graph is acceleration. In C option the slope of graph is also acceleration. The correct option is B. Let's see. If we observe the B option, the velocity time graph, and draw the horizontal lines and check out the angle remains constant throughout the graph. So slope is equal to tan of theta. As theta is constant, so slope is also constant, and slope represents the acceleration, hence acceleration of the stone is constant. If we observe the C option and draw the horizontal lines with the graph, then the slope of the graph is increasing because theta is increasing, hence acceleration of the graph is increasing. If we observe the configuration, when the stone drop, its acceleration is constant, called as gravitational acceleration. Seventh MCQs is figure shows the displacement time graph of a moving particle on the axis. Here is a figure for a particle. A option is particle at rest. B option is particle is continuously going along x direction. C option is velocity increasing up to t naught and then becomes constant. D option is particle moving with constant velocity up to t naught and then stops. The MCQs is asked in ECAT 2008. The correct option is D. Let's see how. If we observe the graph, here is a displacement time graph and its slope represents the velocity of any particle. If we draw the horizontal line and check out the angle, then up to t naught, the angle is constant. Slope is equal to tan of theta. If theta is constant, then slope is also constant, and the velocity of the particle is constant. If the velocity is constant up to t naught and then we observe the graph is horizontal line parallel to time axis, hence its slope is 0. So velocity of the particle is 0 and the particle is stationary or stopped. Eighth MCQs is figure shows the displacement time graph of a particle in one-dimensional motion. Two different equal intervals of time are shown. Let v1 and v2 be the average speed in time intervals 1 and 2 respectively. Then here is the picture of the particle motion. A option is v1 is larger than v2. B option is v2 is larger than v1. C option is v1 is equal to v2. D option is none of these options. The MCQs is asked in ECAT 2010 and the correct option is A. Let's see how. If we observe the graph, here is a displacement time graph and its slopes represents the average velocity of the particle. At first time interval, the slope of the graph is increasing and hence its average velocity or speed is increasing. And at the second time interval, if we observe the slope of graph is decreasing and hence the average speed of the particle is decreasing, then the correct option is V1 is greater than V2. Ninth MCQs is the position time graph of two children A and B returning from their school O to their homes P and Q respectively are shown in the figure. Choose the incorrect statement regarding these graphs. Here is a graphs of these two children A and B. The A option is A lives closer to school than B. B option is A starts from the school earlier than B. C option is A walks faster than B. D option is A and B reach home at the same time. MCQs is asked in ECAT 2010. If we observe the graph, here is the slope of the graph represents the speed of the particle or a children, as the slope of graph for A children is smaller than the slope of graph for B children. Hence, speed of A children is smaller than B. The wrong option is C. A works faster than B. 10th MCQs is the displacement time graph of a moving particle is shown in the figure. The instantaneous velocity of the particle is negative at the point. Here is a displacement time graph of the particle and shown at C, D, E, F points will tell us about the instantaneous velocity of the particle at which point it is negative. A option is C, B option is D, C option is E point, D option is F point. The MCQs is asked in ECAT 2011. If we observe the graph and draw the tangents at these points C, D, E, and F, then we check out the slope of these tangents. That C, D, and F points are those where the slope of the graph is positive, and at E point the slope of graph is negative. So C option is correct. These are the some MCQs of graphs and equations of motion asked in different competitive exams.